Hi everyone, Lori Marie here, mixed media artist in Vallejo, California. I just have to giggle because I did a video a few days ago on the heat activated receipts, and it turns out that they are banned in many countries and cancer causing. So I took that video down, and I have a do-over today for us to do in our altered book 2-page spread that is a lot of fun. So I will have some Amazon links under this video. Please leave your comments. I always appreciate that. And the supply list, let me go through the supply list with you real quickly because I don't think that I had everything all gathered. I used the transfer foil, and if I had had it, I would have used the aerosol tacky glue, the spray-on tacky glue. I didn't have that. So I have a clear acrylic spray that I used instead, and that's the last thing that I did. I used scrunched up tissue paper and black gesso and acrylic paint and spray ink and some focal points. And I think that's all. This book I am mending with fabric in the center of it. I just continue to mend it and mend it and mend it. I knew when I started it that it was very fragile. So I'm just dealing with that as each page goes along. So I'm okay with that. Right, I think that's all the newsy news. Thank you to you Patreons. I'm going to be sending you some focal points. So you'll see what they look like a little bit later on. I had some pages of just some cutout images, and I was reminded about copyright rights. So I've altered them, and I have made some fun focal points for us to play with. So there. Now I think I'm all talked out. See you on the table. So here's our project for today. It's in our altered book. I haven't put focal points down yet. We have underpants and tissue paper and black gesso and acrylic and spray ink and sandpaper and gold foil. And this is what we came up with today. Hello everyone. So this is a do-over. I made a video last week where we used receipts, and lo and behold, they are cancer causing. So I'm thinking maybe that's not such a great idea to create art with a cancer causing product. So we're going to do it again with no receipts and see what we can come up with. So I am going to be working in my altered book, and I'm going to glue 3 pages together on this side. This is my very fragile book, so I'm going to be mending the center of the 2-page spread like I did before. With a piece of fabric. And that does help the book stay together. Handsome hubby is in bed with a bad back. My sister is still here from Malaysia. Brand new nail color today. Very fun. Took my niece to the airport. She's returning to China today. So, and then I got word that the video that I created is cancer causing. So, quite a day, might I say. Alright, you're going to need some underpants and some black gesso and your book with 2 sturdy pages. I have a sturdy page on this side, and now I have 3 together, so I have a sturdy page on this side. We are going to be playing with different colors of tissue paper. These are in lieu of the receipts. So we are just going to go forward and see how this plays out. So I'm just going to cover my page, all except for that fun little girl with underpants. And you guys all know how to do this. So just go for it. I'm going to put the final piece of underpants on here. And then while this is still wet, I am going to take bits and pieces of this tissue paper, really scrunch them up good. Put some Mod Podge on my book. Put that tissue paper down and really scrunch it up. Get lots of fun texture on there. And just continue that process with some fun tissue paper and cover your 2 pages. Now the Mod Podge will make this tissue paper real stiff, which is what we're looking for. So it'll make a nice background. Get as much texture in there as you can by scrunching that up and putting it down. You know how we feel about texture. Now some of these tissue papers are more translucent, transparent than others, so you will see some of the background, but not all of the background. And you will need your sandpaper for this too. Okay, now we're going to take the black gesso. Always scary to work with the black gesso. And you're not going to put it on too heavily. You don't have to wait for the Mod Podge to dry if you don't want to. This girl's not waiting for it to dry for sure. But now I must wait for it to dry. Okay, so this is mostly dry enough. What I'm going to do is bring in my silicone brush, ta-da, but you can use a squeegee or a gift card. Doesn't have to be something delicious like this, but this is what I'm going to use. And I'm just going to squeegee that paint onto all of those lovely pieces of texture. It even makes a fun sound. And the same thing on this side. And we will let this dry. Well, actually I'm going to dry it, but so just to do a little recap, I've got a 2-page spread going. I put some underpants down. I put some crinkly tissue paper down with some Mod Podge, keeping it as crinkly as I could. Painted that with black gesso. Painted that with some acrylic, yellow acrylic. Now I'm going to bring in that London Blue Shimmer Spray by Delusions. And just add some of that. And let it dry. So while that's drying, I want to talk to you about some focal points. These are some things that I've put together for the Patreon users. A few sheets of fun focal points. I'm going to send these off for you to play with. They're very fun. I'm going to use some today in the book as well, so that will be fun. I was going to send out sheets with just some images on it, and then one of you suggested that I alter them, which would keep me out of trouble with the copyrights. So that's what I've done. So these are the focal points that I'm going to play with a little bit today. Alright, let's bring this back in. It's relatively dry. When I sandpaper it, it may rip up quite a bit, and I am okay with that. My sister said it's beautiful now, why would I want to ruin it? But guess what? I do. So I'm just going to go in here and sandpaper. Okay, here's the before and here's the after. Now you can see some of the underpants and the black gesso and the different colored underpants, but yet you still have the texture and you still have the yellow paint and the blue spray ink. So I'm very happy with the way that this is working forward. Now I'm going to go and do the other side. Okay, these 2 pages look very dragon-like or magic to me, so I want to put some gold foil on them. But unfortunately, they took my spray adhesive when I went to Mexico. So I'm going to be using, this is just a spray paint, a clear semi-gloss, seals, protects, and revitalizes. In a well-ventilated area, of course. So if you have the tacky glue adhesive, please use that. I just happen to have to use what I have. And just go over it until you get enough gold on there. Oh gosh, this is beautiful. And I'm going to do that to finish this page. Beautiful. So here's our 2-page spread that we played with today. I love how it turned out. So now it's your turn. Go create, go play, go have fun. Alright, I'm going to play with the focal points. Now these are focal points that you will be receiving if you are a Patreon subscriber. I'm going to put some Mod Podge on the back because I'm working with some ink on the front on the page and we don't want that to bleed off. So I'll put the Mod Podge on the back of the image and then glue it down. What a lovely, lovely background. Wowza. Ripped her. It's okay. Okay, I have my yummy focal points on. I'm going to go around all the edges of the pages with my Stabilo, and then also around all the edges of the images. And you've seen me do it a million times. And I love what it does to the pieces, of course. So there it is with the focal points. So fun. All right. Go create, go play, go have fun. I love it.